Howdy, folks. I'm Brian,
Oh, I'm Amber.
and here's some Reddit. Our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Not Agreeing to House Sit for My Sister? Okay, this is a wild one, and it makes absolutely no sense to me, but my sister absolutely hates my guts right now for something I just can't understand how I did wrong. She is leaving for vacation next week. Next week. She asked me to stay at her place, including nights, because she's worried about break ins and if there's a flood, etc., as well as watering the plants. Okay, fine. She lives close by, so I'll stay there. I sent her a text agreeing to house sit. She then sends me a text and tells me, okay, instead of charging you market rent, I'll charge you a little bit less. Uh, no, I have my own house. Why would I pay for that? So I responded with a question mark. And she responded by explaining that her comparable rental house, she is a landlord, gets X dollars a month in rent, so she's divided the rent by 4 for the week and knocked $75 off. Yeah, no. So I told her that she is free to hire a house sitter, or I can do it for free, but I'm not going to pay and stay at her place if I already have a place of my own. She's now upset with me because she, quote, has a mortgage to pay, and she's losing out if OP doesn't pay for the 2 weeks that she lives there. I told her that it's really not my issue, and I refuse to house sit and pay to house sit. I'll stay at my place. Now my partner is on my side, and so are most of my family members, but my sister's friends have sent me messages on Facebook and Insta absolutely shredding me and saying things like, Did you think you were going to stay somewhere for free? Nothing's free. And admonishing me as a leech. She is part of a private landlord group on Facebook and has sent me screenshots of people commenting on her post about me. So many calling me entitled and saying things like, Where in the world do you expect to live somewhere rent free? And that I should be grateful that she's charging me below market rate. I am so saddened that she would air out our dirty laundry online. My sister tells me that she's crushed that I refuse to help her and she only trusts me to watch her place. So no Airbnbs and strangers, etc. And she showed me the Facebook post. She's not lying to the people about the issue and twisting the facts. She's literally telling them the full story. That she asked me to do her a favor and I'm not asking her for a place to live. And yet, most of the comments of them are mocking me for thinking that I can stay there for free. That house sitting is not a job and that I should be helping my sister out if I stay there. I should be paying some rent. I'm absolutely floored and I don't know anymore. Am I actually a bad person here? Alright, folks. What do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. These landlords are ridiculous.
I have just had my mind blown. I don't know about you folks. Like,
Like,
I have never heard of a case where someone who's house sitting is being charged rent for house sitting.
right, like you're doing someone else a favor. Like the person who's, the receiving the favor should be the one paying.
Yeah. So I would say that you can charge your sister $75 or however much the rent is a night for house sitting. Say, okay, yeah, I mean, I'll pay that. This is my going rate for how much I'm going to, house sit your house for. Take it or leave it. So I don't think you're a jerk, OP, and I just think that this is a bizarre situation, and I'm really not sure why all these people are saying that you're wrong. Because honestly, does your sister have like multiple fake Facebook accounts or something like that? Is she like having a conversation with herself, being like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna make this spicy so that my sister starts to doubt herself." You can fake those screenshots too, by the way. So, I don't know. Let me know what you people think. I think that this is just absolutely ridiculous, but if anyone is out there and disagrees with me, I'm really happy to hear your point of view on things. So, apparently there are people out there who do disagree with this. So, I'm really curious about the reasoning and logic here. Anyhow, take care and good luck. Vimir 1977 says, I'm sorry, but your sister has a screw loose. You were doing her a favor and she's acting as if you are on holiday in her house. Go enjoy your home, not the jerk. And Sandmint has said, not the jerk, she asked you to house sit. Why would you be renting the place for the week? You're not living there. She's being weird and couldn't afford to go on vacation if it means that she wouldn't have the money for the mortgage. She could have put it up as an Airbnb for the week if she wanted cash. Arasan Impulse says it makes no sense to you because it makes no sense. And your sister is telling people you asked her to stay there, which is why they're on her side, not the jerk. And I think that OP was saying that that's actually not the case. I don't understand it. And Jerk Expert says, not the jerk, throw the entire sister away. Wow. Our next letter is titled, Am I the jerk? I'm a 24-year-old female for lying to my 52-year-old female mom about abiding by the 90-day rule. This one I would think is probably not safe for work. This was requested by Hacky Puffs, so thanks for the suggestion, Hacky Puffs, and I'll read it. So let's dive into it. So my mom and I recently bought a house together in another state. Me, my mom, and my 1-year-old daughter moved here in mid-April. Since moving, I found myself a boyfriend who is really sweet and helps to take care of my child and helps around the house. He's fallen on tough times, so he's been staying with us. But he's been contributing in expenses and pays us $200 a week while he finds another place. I don't mind because, like I said, he wants to help watch my daughter and does various work around the house like mowing the lawn, fixing the windows, taking out the trash and recyclables, and helping to fix things, etc. I actually like it because our mortgage is almost $3,000 a month, and he contributes a good portion to that, plus my daughter has taken a liking to him. He also loves me very much. However, my mom has an issue with him staying over at times because she's uncomfortable with the idea of us having adult fun time in the house. However, I'm 24 and it's my house too. We're co-owners, so I feel like I should be able to have adult fun time in the comfort of my home. Well, this morning I mentioned how I was having feminine issues down there, and my mom said it was probably because I have a latex allergy like her. I immediately got defensive because she was implying that I was using protection with my boyfriend, and I told her that I wasn't comfortable having this discussion with her, and she said that neither was she. I grew up in a super conservative household. When it came to topics like adult fun time, my mom would make it seem like having adult fun time is the worst thing in the world and made me feel ashamed. Even after having a child, I still feel ashamed and uncomfortable when talking to my mom about this topic. So I told my mom that me and him were abiding by the 90-day rule. This, of course, is a lie. Me and him have been having adult fun time a lot in my room. We're just discreet about it. She came to me after I sent her this in a text and said that she was so proud of me and how my boyfriend and he must really love me. Part of me feels bad for lying, but it feels like she's uncomfortable with me being intimate with my boyfriend at home. So I guess what she doesn't know won't hurt her. Part of me feels like the jerk for lying and subjecting her this potentially walking in on an intimate moment, but then the other part of me feels like I'm an adult and I should be able to do this in my own house. Am I the jerk for lying and continuing to have adult fun time in the house? And the 90-day rule is not having adult fun time for 90 days in a new relationship. Also, I wanted to clear this up because of being brought up a lot. My mom is okay with him staying here. We've all sat down and had a discussion about him and him paying rent. Edit, since some of you folks are failing to answer the question and instead using this as a post to attack my parenting skills, I'm going to start blocking responses that call me the jerk for allowing my boyfriend to stay with us, which is not the issue that has already been discussed. Alright folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. I mean, Opie's a co-owner of the house, so they should be able to enjoy themselves in the privacy of their bedroom.
I certainly think that this is like none of the mothers of business about whether or not that OP is is doing this or not, right? And I think the mom was trying to be helpful when she made the suggestion that OP might be having a latex allergy and OP needs to be probably a little less defensive, but it's difficult because her mother has treated this topic as so taboo for so long, and so I can certainly understand why OP is having an issue with this topic now and having a hard time discussing it, right? Like, you just don't get over something like that overnight, and I think it's a bit unfair for people to expect OP to immediately, like, just, get over this topic and be all honky-dory to talk about it, right? Now, there are some comments in this one, and a lot of these comments do address something to the effect of as OP being a bad parent for having him, this boyfriend in the house after such short notice or such a short relationship. So I don't really think I'm going to touch too much on that point because I think that this is something that OP doesn't really want talked about, and OP's made it explicit that they don't really have a desire to have this particular issue discussed. So I think that OP, just to kind of address some of the comments on this, so I think that OP, is of course a parent. They need to be able to make decisions that are best for their child. And as long as that they are keeping an eye on him and making sure that nothing's bad's happening to their child, I think that that's, going to be a good enough type of thing in this situation. I mean, I think that it's wrong to crucify OP over this situation because they have a relatively new relationship. It sounds like the mom's living there as well, so there's not just like one pair of eyes on the situation. And it's difficult because there are a lot of bad people out there, but OP seems to trust this individual. So I think that this is one of those topics where we don't certainly have enough information to make a good judgment about the character of this individual, and so I think it's a bit of a moot point, to be quite honest. So where do I stand with judging OP a jerk or not the jerk on lying about the 90-day rule? Well, OP, I think like if you're old enough to lie about the 90-day rule, then you're also old enough to, tell your mom that it's none of her business, right? Like, you don't need to answer her. You don't need to lie to her to tell her that you're doing this 90-day rule. You just have to say, I'm not going to have this discussion with you. What I do in my bedroom is none of your business. I am a half owner of this house and he's paying rent. So, you should be happy for that. So I think that certainly, I always shy away from lying in situations like this because, as OP kind of mentioned, there's a high potential that the mom might at some point in time walk in on them, and then well, there goes, it's of course going to be pretty well revealed at that point in time. So OP, I would say that you probably shouldn't lie to people, and you should probably just be either say that you're not interested in having a discussion, or not talk about it at all. That's kind of my thoughts. Anyhow, take care and good luck. So actually, I will add like a little bit of an addendum here. I know I'm probably like letting OP off a little bit easy here, and I'm willing to, of course, letting people have their full range of like judgments on this one. But I can say that personally, I would have a really hard time if I were a parent, introducing someone to my child at such a short period of time into a relationship. But again, this isn't like my child or my decision. This is kind of OP's, decision on the matter. And it's very difficult to interject into people's parenting and telling them without a whole lot of information whether or not they're doing a good job or bad job of parenting. So that's kind of my thoughts there. So, yeah. All right, folks, it is tea time. Everyone grab your beverages of choice. I have a beverage here, and it happens to be tea.
I have water.
Amber does not have tea. Did you hear about the two lighthouse keepers who fell in love? Their marriage is on the rocks.
Oh no.
A tragic story. A tragic story indeed. And I have Earl Grey. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving me a like. And if you didn't, consider giving me a dislike. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.